In this video I'm going to show you how I made the steel and coffee sack footstool. I built the frame using some 40mm box section steel. I started by making a rectangle for the base. Using a metal cutting saw, I cut down the pieces, all with 45-degree miters. Two pieces at 50cm long and two pieces at 40cm long. I laid out the pieces into shape and used some welding magnets to hold them in place. This is my first time welding, so it's not great, but it gets better as I go on. I chipped at it with a hammer and used a 40 grit flat disc to grind all the welds clean. Once I had two rectangles, one for the base and one for the top, I cut 4 legs to be the uprights. These were cut at 25cm. Again, I used welding magnets to ensure they were straight and level, and ran welds along all the joints. I accidentally cut one of the legs short, but decided to embrace my mistake and make it a design choice. Next, I needed to make some tabs to hold the wooden foam base to the frame. I grabbed some scrap steel I had lying around and marked out 4 6cm long tabs. Swapping the flat disc to a cutting disc, I cut down the pieces. They were a little rough around the edges, so I took them over to my belt grinder and tidied them up a little. Next I drew a line slightly off centre so the holes would be further away from the frame. I drilled a 4mm hole in each of them. Back over on the base, I turned it upside down and found the centre of each bar. I lined up the tabs I'd just made and welded them onto the frame. I went over the whole thing with 2 coats of matte black spray paint. Came out really nicely and did an amazing job of covering up the slightly dodgy welds. I took a sheet of 18mm plywood and marked out the size of the base and cut the wood to size. Then I laid the wood onto a 2-inch piece of upholstery foam and marked it out with a Sharpie. It turns out a razor blade isn't great at cutting foam. I think a bread knife or something would work much better. I put some spray adhesive on both the wood and the back of the foam. I let it sit for a few minutes until it went tacky. And then fit the 2 pieces together. I added a layer of wadding in between the foam and the coffee sack. So I just trimmed it to size. And used a staple gun to nail it to the wooden base. My friends run a coffee roasting company and they kindly let me have this coffee sack. I trimmed it to size and again, stapled it down to the wood. I cut off the corners to make it sit a little better. I I took some black upholstery tacks and hammered them through the coffee sack into the plywood at about 6cm intervals. All that was left to do was screw the top onto the base and it was done. For a full written guide and list of items and materials used, check out my Instructables or website. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, share and subscribe.